Education hasn't changed. It's the educator and the content that have changed, resulting in mass unemployment in modern times compared to ancient education. In traditional African societies, education was not merely a structured curriculum or a degree-driven system. It was a way of life, deeply embedded in the culture, values, and survival of the community. From a young age, children were trained through observation, mentorship, and practical engagement in daily tasks. This indigenous education was functional, purpose-driven, and community-oriented. A child was not taught for certificates but for competence, responsibility, and productivity. Every adult had the duty to train the young, the farmer, the hunter, the potter, the weaver, the healer, and the elder. All served as living educators whose knowledge prepared the child for adult life. By the age of adolescence, a boy or girl in such a system had already acquired tangible skills: farming, fishing, animal rearing, crafting, trading, storytelling, or leading rituals, depending on their community's livelihood and values. Unemployment did not exist because there was no such concept as being unproductive. Everyone had a role, skills equated to survival, and society thrived on interdependence. Education was continuous, lifelong, and adapted to the changing needs of the environment and community. In contrast, modern educational systems in many African contexts, shaped largely by colonial legacies and Western models, shifted the focus from life-based learning to classroom-based instruction. Young people now go through years of schooling, memorizing theories, writing exams, and chasing certificates that often have little connection with the socio-economic realities of their environment. The content is heavily theoretical, with little emphasis on practical, local relevance or entrepreneurship. Moreover, the role of the educator has shifted. In the past, educators were elders and community members with lived experience and tested wisdom. Today, educators are often distant from the lived experience of their students, constrained by outdated curricula, exam-focused standards, and bureaucratic systems. The result is a growing army of degree holders with few practical skills, no exposure to real economic activities, and limited opportunities to apply their knowledge in a meaningful way. The outcome is striking: a generation of youth who, despite years of formal schooling, find themselves unemployed or underemployed. Villages that once produced self-reliant individuals now witness young people migrating to cities, disillusioned, frustrated, and idle. The pride of contributing to the community through skilled work has been replaced by the race for white-collar jobs that are scarce and often unattainable. In comparison, traditional African education, skill-based, hands-on learning, community-centered and practical, educators with lived experiences, lifelong and adaptive education, prepared every youth for economic role. No unemployment in village society. Modern formal education, theory-based, abstract learning, institution-centered and certificate-focused. Educators focused on standardized curriculum, fixed duration, rigid programs. Prepares youth for job markets that may not exist. Mass youth unemployment in modern society. In conclusion, education itself has not failed. The philosophy, content, and the approach of the educator have changed, from one that builds people for life and contribution, to one that builds for grades and competition. To address the crisis of mass unemployment, societies must reimagine education as a tool for life, not just for paper. It's time to blend the wisdom of traditional systems with the tools of the modern world, restoring purpose, practicality, and productivity to the heart of learning. Our training are available on our e-learning www.say-ac.org. Contact us if you need more about our training.